Hello, mes amours. Welcome to another great episode of the Before the Veil show. Today, we have one of the top cinematographer with us on set. And I want you to put your hands together and help me welcome Mr. Enny. Olamide.
Thank you so much for having me, Melissa.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you so much for being here today.
I'm happy to be here. I like your jacket.
Thank you. I thought I'll put some together for you.
Looks good, look nice.
You look great yourself.
Thank you so much.
Very
I
chill.
appreciate that.
No problem. But welcome to the Before the Veil.
Wow, this is nice. This is a very nice initiative.
Yes, thank you, thank you. We thought that we would educate our upcoming brides and grooms.
Absolutely, we're here for it.
A lot of time they get engaged and then they start making decisions, and we want them to start making the proper decisions from the beginning. So before we get to all of this, how did you start with this whole movement? I call it a movement because I did not pay so much attention to wedding cinematography. Before it was just wedding video, but now it's cinematography. You gotta say it right. So I didn't really pay attention to it until I would say, a couple people start coming out with this amazing visual, and you were one of them. So how did this all started for you?
Well, first and foremost, my name is Enny Olamide, owner of Bricks Group Media. I started wedding video in 2016, but prior to that, coming from Nigeria to United States, I used to do production, like reality shows and stuff like that. So the documentary background that I have helped me to kind of tell a better story. So that's how I'm able to, dive into wedding film.
All right, Mr. Olamide. I like saying it. It sounds like I'm actually coming up with some type of song or something like that. Olamide. But I have a couple of questions for you. What was your upbringing like? What inspires you?
That's a very good question. Well, I grew up in Nigeria. I grew up in a family filled with love. My parents were married for 35 years before my dad passed away in 2009.
Oh, wow.
I'm the last of 6. I grew up in a house where, the cool thing is being a doctor or a lawyer, scientist.
Your parents
all
are
of that. Yes.
Your parents are related to my parents.
I know, right? I think it's kind of like an African thing, or like maybe a Caribbean thing, you might say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I ended up, studying banking and finance, which, I have a background in accounting. However, I've always been a, creative guy, the guy that takes cool pictures, or the guy that, just creative. For some reason, I have the eyes for it. What inspires me? I think I'm inspired by nature. I travel a lot. I go to different places, and that kind of helped me see things in different perspective. I also kind of like architecture, so I get inspiration from lines and shapes and all of that stuff. So
if you guys are not following him, make sure you do. So all of his travels are on his Instagram. I want to either be packed into your suitcase or come as an assistant or something. Take me with you.
Sure.
You do amazing travels. You just came from...
I just came from Saudi Arabia for my birthday, my 37th.
That was your birthday trip. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow, okay.
And it was fabulous. I enjoyed every little bit of it. Sober, because there's no drink in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
No wine, none of that.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, but, I just took time to reflect on my life as well. Live 30 decades. That sounds, I'm scared.
It's a great space to be in,
I'm enjoying it.
A little bit more mature.
Mm-hmm.
But that's amazing.
Thank you.
So do you like movies, music?
Yes, I do love music, but my music taste is actually based on my mood. I love different genre, If I give you some selection, like some Asian artist selection, you'd be like, wait, are you Asian?
Test me.
Let's talk about Ali Lalivier. Do you know who that is? I think it's part of the...
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to, I listen to French music. One of my favorite artists is Taiki or Daju. I love their music, even though I don't really like know all the things that they say, but the rhythm and the flow just sounds good to me and it's soothing.
Music is international, so
Yeah.
therefore we could be vibing to anything as long as it's a good groove. And yeah, that's amazing. You mentioned Ali La Riviere.
Yes.
It's actually a Haitian artist that I've just, come to know. And it shocked me when you say that because how did I not know sooner about him and you already know about him?
Just like the way like a lot of people know about Afrobeat and stuff like that. Being in the industry, being a creative person, I always have to constantly also research like different music because I deal with different type of people like, Asian, French, Spanish, Jewish, American. So I have to, kind of like spread my wings wide to understand the music and the language, and that helps me a lot with my, creativity.
That's amazing. So do you draw inspirations from the music that you listen to, let's say music videos or movies that you watch? Do you draw inspiration from them?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I'm one of the worst person to actually watch a movie with because I'm going to be telling you like frame by frame, oh, that frame is not right. Oh, look at that, there's no continuity and all of that stuff. So I do draw, inspiration from music and from movies as well. So yes, I do.
That's great. That's why I think a lot of people hold back from inviting people like planners or, to their events. At least that's what I think, because I feel like, they think that's what we're doing.
Right.
And really, no, we just want to come in and chill. We want to not work that moment.
Right.
But it's amazing that you say that because my husband also does the whole production. Who's doing our production right now? But and that's what he does as well. Watching a movie or music video, oh, there's no continuity here, and that's why I know some of the terms because that's what he does too. Right. This then da 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 da. But oh wow, okay, it's a what is it? Like it's a cinematographer thing?
Yeah, it's a creative thing. So.
I know we're not there yet, but I wanted to ask you. So when a client wants to fly you out, how do you address that as far as rate?
Yeah, we have like different rates for like in-state wedding and destination.
Okay.
Yeah, so it just depends on how far it is, if it's in Italy, if it's in Greece, if it's in Africa, so it's kind of like varies.
That's amazing, but you have to give us like a little bit more. So if someone is in Italy right now and wants you to shoot their wedding, do they pay for your flight? They pay for your stay? How does that work?
Yeah, most of my clients actually pay for my my flight and my stay as well. And it just depends on how many days I'm going to be staying in the country. And sometimes we get per diem as well, for food and all of that stuff. So it feels good.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense if they're going to be flying you somewhere else.
Yes.
And it's also because you do such an amazing work.
Ever since I was a little boy, I said that I was gonna get married to somebody just like my sisters. And I did just that.
Welcome to the future. Welcome to the future.
Being able to watch you grow as a father over the last 2 years has been amazing. God has far surpassed all of my expectations that I've ever dreamed of and prayed for in a man to spend the rest of my life with.
And I promise you, everything that I have, that you will never want for anything, because I love you that much, more than I love myself.
Future.
So when you are not filming a wedding, what else are you doing? What other skills are you hiding from us?
I have a lot. I think one is soccer. I play soccer, like football.
Okay.
I draw as well. But one of my favorite things to do is to travel. Even if client is not flying me out, I'm packing my bags and I'm
going
off to the next country. So yeah, that's what I love to do.
What position do you play?
I play striker, so I'm a good runner, very fast.
It's not that I know. I just wanted to ask the question. Okay. We'll find out what a striker is. Okay, okay. So I'm assuming that's when you kick the ball and run.
Yes, absolutely. The one that puts the ball in the net.
Okay,
Yes.
that makes sense. Okay, next time just say that.
Attention all brides to be. Elevate your wedding day look with the exquisite bridal jewelry and headpiece from Jewels by Charles. Our collection features unique and luxurious design crafted to make you shine on your special day. Follow us on Instagram at Jewels by Charles for a glimpse into our stunning creation. Whether you prefer in-person or virtual consultation, we're here to help you find that perfect piece to complement your style. Make your bridal dreams come true with Jewels by Charles.
Enny,
Yes. No.
what's your greatest achievement as a cinematographer?
That's a very great question. I think my greatest achievement would be, doing what I love actually. Waking up in the morning and doing what I actually love, and also putting smiles on, my couple's faces and people, be it documentary or event and stuff like that. Just being able to, I love love. So, but just being able to see people or delivering a video and people are like, wow, this is actually created to my taste and stuff like that, which is what I think one of my biggest achievements, I can say.
At the end, when you see that smile, when you
Yes.
see how excited they are to relive their wedding day through your video.
That gives me a lot of joy.
Yes, yes, yes. I think in general for creative as well, in my end, for some reason it's holding the bride's dress going down the aisle.
Oh, wow.
That's a great achievement for me.
Oh, wow.
When I send my client down the aisle, it's like, whew, like it's all, we're halfway done, but it's all done going down the aisle. Yeah. So that's my greatest achievement. So on a day when you're filming, when you walk in, I know you're gonna deliver this bomb video, you're going to deliver.
Yes.
But what else do you hope to accomplish?
The goal has always been or will always be to, for my client to see their video like 20 years from now and look back at it and relive the moment and say, oh, we did that. And for me, the goal is also to make my clients feel very comfortable and be authentic, because I love to capture like raw, candid moments. I feel like that's one of the things that actually separate us from, different cinematographers out there. We try not to force things. We want our clients to be very like themselves and, be authentic. So that's one of the things I actually also look out for.
Yeah, so for a bride or a groom that sees a video,
Yes.
let's say a past video of yours or any other company, and say, I want that.
Yes.
How do you help them to understand that it needs to be their video?
Yes, so I always tell people, like, at the end of the day, you have to be yourself, right? And I try as much as possible to also kind of like have like a little bit of interaction prior to their wedding so I can understand my couple. Because for me, it's more than just like capturing wedding video. You need to understand your couple, you need to understand their vibe, you need to know their personality so that way, we can actually tell their story better. So I feel like, meeting or having a conversation prior to their wedding with my clients helps me a lot to also like understand the people I'm working for, the people that I'm serving.
Have you ever had any type of disconnect with your client?
I feel like for the most part, I've been blessed to have great clients. All of my clients, and that's what I mentioned earlier, like, I try as much as possible to at least have interaction with them, so I can actually feel their vibe, because every client is different and their love story is different as well. So I try not to deviate from that and just keep it like, okay, this is you, okay?
So I think I was really asking a client that was being difficult Any client that was being difficult, how did you deal with that?
At the end of the day, you can't really change who people are, you know, but I try as much as possible to keep everything professional. You get what I mean? I put a little smile on my face, you know, because at least even if you're having a bad day, if I smile at you, you smile as well. Like, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, but for the most part, I don't think I've ever had like, you know, any client that is like really difficult, because most of the time they're in love with my video and they're excited to have me, and I'm always honored to be at their wedding to share that, you know, memory with them. So for the most part, I would say like, you know, we've been blessed at Breaks Group to, you know, always have good clients. I don't know how God does it, but, you know, it happened like that. I feel like it, you know, boils down to having respect for each other. You get what I mean? Because I feel like, you know, when you respect other people, you know, they tend to respect you as well.
Of course.
So I feel like just showing my clients that, you know, respect that, you know, I'm serving them, you know, I feel like that's kind of, because I attract like, you know, different type of clients and stuff like that, but I feel like ultimately it's the respect. You know, when you respect people, they tend to respect you as well. So, so yeah.
What separates you, Bricks Group, from the multitude of cinematographers that we have out there? We understand that you give amazing work. You're the GOAT.
Thank you.
So what separates you, Bricks Group, from the multitude of the cinematographers that we have out there?
I think one of the key factors that we have is that we film for decades and beyond, meaning our videos are very timeless, and we try to understand our client to be able to tell their story better. So we're not one of those cinematographers that gives clients the same music, the same type of like video. So we tend to understand our client's love story and tell their story based on their personality. I think that's one of the unique factors. And then you can never go wrong with, you know, story. And I think that's one of the things that set us apart at Breaks Group Media.
For the clients that come to you and ask you for that specific video, I saw you did a video, I'd like for mine to be like that. So how do you deviate them from wanting that exact video to creating their own memories?
I think one of the advice I give my clients is that there's nothing wrong with, you know, having inspiration from, you know, other places, even from other cinematographers. But at the end of the day, you know, if clients come to us, they come into us because of what we do and how we do our video, or how we tell our story. However, if they have like different elements, we can kind of tell them like, hey, listen, I understand you have this, you know, inspiration. We can add a little bit of those elements in your video. Because for us, we understand what our clients want.
Exactly.
So that being said, like for the most part, when we encounter those type of situation, by the time we give them their video, they're like, oh my God, thank you so much for bringing, you know, our vision to life.
And pretty much forget about all the requests.
In a way.
Kind of. At the end of the day, that's what we strive for.
Absolutely.
You know, making sure that we still give them, as creatives, we have a thought process as well.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And when clients come with specific needs, we want to accommodate them. But we don't want to copy another creative.
Absolutely.
It's unfair for someone to spend time under craft and then for us to just go and copy. So none of us do things like that. We don't want to do things like that.
And for us, I feel like one of our process too, at Breaks Group, is that we try to include the client into the post-production aspect of it. Things, in terms of like even choosing the music. You know, we'll tell them like, hey, just send us like maybe 10 music, you know, that you like, because at the end of the day, you still don't want to take their elements out of their video, because at the end of the day, it's their video.
Correct.
So we try as much as possible to include them in the creative process by saying, hey, send us some music, and then we'll add it, you know. But for the most part, I feel like our clients trust our judgment when it comes to selecting music and doing all of that.
So for the clients who's planning their weddings right now, potential clients, I should say, what should a good budget be, like a starting budget for the clients who wants the level of expertise that you provide?
I feel like every wedding has different budgets, but when you're looking for a standard, things cost money. There's inflation now, so a lot of things are going high. So we want to understand that. But for our base rate, we start at $10,000 upward. However, based on the fact that every budget is different for different wedding, you don't have to hire Bricks Group. There are other companies that charge less and stuff like that. But if you're looking for that standard, because I feel like video and photography, even going into planning too, those are like your best investments, because at the end of the day, all the fun is going to happen on that day. But video and picture are the things that you left with
Yes.
for the rest of your life. So you want to make sure you invest smart and wisely in that. If you connect to a cinematographer, just go with them. If you connect with our work, come to us and then, spend the money.
And that's why there's a variety of companies out there. They are not all built the same.
Absolutely.
And they have reason why they charge the way that they charge. So therefore, I do agree with you when you said that, there's different budget, definitely. So as a planner, there are certain clients that I wouldn't be calling you for.
Absolutely.
Because we want to stay within our client's budget. But there are some clients we know definitely that you would fit into their budget. So for those of you that's watching, I just want to open this little parenthesis. We select vendors based on your budget.
Absolutely.
So we're not going to waste your time by chasing a vendor that we know that's not going to fit within your budget. Now, it's up to you if you want that specific vendor and want to add in that money. So if you want someone that doesn't fit into your budget, you are more welcome to choose that person. But we're not going to select someone who doesn't fit into the budget. All right?
That's correct.
So starting with you,
Yes.
it's $10,000.
Yes. That's
Right?
like our base rates.
Base
That's
rate.
like our starting price.
Starting price,
Yes.
$10,000.
Yes.
Okay. So if you want to book Bricks Group, you got to have that coins. All right.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you also want to think about like what goes into the production of your wedding, because some people call it wedding video. We call it production because there's
Correct.
Several areas or layers to it. From when we film to when we color grade, selecting the music, all those takes time. Even though we show up one day to film the wedding, we still go back and spend months and hours in the studio making sure everything looks good and making sure we provide you with a top quality video. So that costs a lot too,
And that's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, for the people that wonders about the cost, what goes into it?
Yeah, so a lot goes into it, by, buying the music, buying the right to the music, color grading, after recording the audio from the wedding, we still send it to our sound engineer to do a mix and mastering of the audio and then send it back to us to lay. So it's a lot of times and it's a lot of hours in the studio. So a lot of work goes into it. And when you think about it too, from the moment I leave my house, the hour is already counting. I have, wedding that are destination and I have to fly in a day before.
Correct.
So those are like hours already. Then the day of your wedding, then the next day I have to travel back, then having to
You're still on the clock.
So exactly. So when people hear $10,000, they just think about the numbers. We're doing this from a place of passion. If we were to put price on it, I don't think any monetary can actually cover what we do.
Exactly. After the day is all done, the flowers have gone bad, they're wilted. Everybody's gone back to their daily routine. The couple will have that video. The couple will have those pictures. So therefore, as you mentioned earlier, video and photography is one of the top two things I would say you must spend on these things. If you're gonna splurge, I think these two are they're the two main things
Absolutely.
that you can definitely splurge on.
Yes.
For people who's questioning, okay, so they're this expensive, but then I want this, I want that. I think now it boils down to what's your priority?
And then what standard are you looking for? Exactly. I think that's the word. Yeah, what's your priority?
What's your priority? Do you want to get a Rolls Royce for pictures, or do you want to take that budget and add to your photography or videography? Do you want that second dress or third dress, or do you want better photographer and videographers? That's how I advise my clients.
Yeah.
Okay, so you heard it from Briggs Group himself, from Enny. If you want to splurge on your photography, videography, you definitely, and you have a price point that you want to stay in for your budget, you definitely want to reconsider your decisions, how you're prioritizing certain items in your budget. So think about it before you start making deposits on certain things. Think about your photography, think about your videography, because these things, they last you a lifetime, and you want to enjoy them for years and years to come. So hiring the correct photographer and videographer, that's in your best decision.
Chaque fois nous shooter, nous toujours fait valser. Bonne nouvelle.
Enny, I have another question for you. Does the client's location impact the wedding video?
Yes, location definitely impacts your wedding video. I'll give you a scenario of if you're getting ready at a hotel that doesn't really have a beautiful space to take some portraits, then we're going to be depending on your location. And let's say, for instance, your location doesn't have like beautiful ambience to take like portrait shots or do videos, then you at that point you have nothing to work with. Yeah, and but you also have to understand that different clients have different budgets. Client venue does impact the video or how it look, but it depends on your budget at the end of the day. Like you have to go with whatever your budget covers. I'll give you an instance. Like the substitute for not having a great wedding venue, it's a nice hotel. For instance, let's say you don't have a great venue, for instance, you can actually use your hotel to take like some portrait picture and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you still don't want to get married at a venue that doesn't look good.
Exactly.
Because that's going to also impact your overall video. So definitely your venue, you have to be very careful of what you choose so that way, your video comes out great.
Your venue is your backdrop.
Pretty much.
It's your backdrop. So if you choose a venue that does not give you what you're looking for, your wedding video is essentially going to be what
Impacted.
it is. Yeah,
Yes.
it's going to be impacted. So I know that there are clients that sees a video and then they bring it to you, and how do you, sometimes it doesn't compare
Yes,
to where
absolutely.
they want to be, to where they're actually getting married. So how do you help them to understand what their outcome would be?
At the end of the day, I would say like you just go with what your budget fit. You know, most of the time you can have all this idea, but if your budget doesn't, cover it. If you send me a video from Italy, you have to get married in Italy to be able to get that type of output. However, we worked in such a way that we still make everywhere look beautiful. I think that's one of the things that is different about us. But my advice is when you're choosing a venue, make sure you have different options, different, like you said, your venue is your backdrop. So you want to make sure you select your venue carefully so it gives room for us to be able to create magic.
Excellent. So what would you say is next for Bricks Group?
Whew. That's a lot. I'm actually in school to be a pilot right now.
A pilot?
Yes, a pilot.
Oh, Lord.
And I'm also gearing up to actually shoot a movie of my own.
Wow,
So
okay.
yes, I'm looking forward to that, and I'm excited about what's to come in the future.
Okay, well, can I ask you what is the movie about? Can I jump in, an extra or something?
Absolutely. Do you want to be part of the cast?
Whatever you want. Is it overseas, first of all? Because I want to travel.
No, it's gonna be here. But
It's gonna be here.
It
Okay,
depends.
I'll be
keep
an extra.
I'll keep you in the loop.
I feel like I'm not going to be called.
Maybe you design one of our sets.
Okay,
How
I'll
about
take
that?
that. Anything, I'll take that. Okay. So you're going to be a pilot. You're writing a movie.
Yes, I'm
And-
excited.
You are also an artist. You draw. You play soccer. You're this amazing cinematographer.
I'm a total package.
You are definitely the total package. And we loved having you here today.
And I also want to say, thank you for having me. Melissa, dope planner. I remember when we worked a year ago, everything was just at ease. I was just like, who is this girl? She's not one of those planners that sneak peek everything. She just lets you do your stuff. And I want to also thank you for the trust that you have in us too, because I felt like, you're like, oh, it's Enny, he got it. And, that was very fulfilling, to know that, people, trust us to,
Oh, yes.
capture those moments. So
Now-
thank you so much for that.
Oh, no, you're welcome. If you're going to be on our set, I want to be able to trust you. I don't want to babysit anybody.
Absolutely.
And if you are on a finest blending in the core set, it's because Melissa says, no, I don't have to babysit that person.
Yeah, thank you so
And-
much for that. We appreciate that.
Oh, no, we love your work. We've been admiring your work. We love your work. So when we presented your portfolio to our client, they definitely wanted to book.
Thank you.
So it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Thank you for providing your expertise to our viewers. We look forward to doing more work with you.
Melissa, thank you so much for having me on Before the Veil. I really do appreciate that, and I know the sky is the beginning.
It was great having you. Thank you so much for providing your advice to our potential bride and grooms, and we look forward to doing more work with you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.